Hello and welcome back to BB Kingle. Now, back of last week, a bit more information's came out. I've been able to read a bit more about it. A few videos here and there, more information, been soaking it all in. So I'm going to expand on what I said last week with some more kind of well thought through opinions from myself and more information for yourselves to be able to make your own opinion on this as well. So we're still going to talk about the mummified Mexican mummy. Tuesday, an article came out from Sky News and it included this video. Now the video doesn't show anything that we don't know, it's just a kind of recap of what's going on. So this is the video that's on Sky News right at the start when you go on the article.
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes a todos. De secuenciación. La técnica de extracción y su posterior corrimiento en un gel de agarosa confirmó la existencia tanto de ADN degradado como moléculas pequeñas de ADN no degradadas, con la posibilidad de poder realizar un proceso. Fueron los siguientes: del espécimen identificado como 0002, que es básicamente una muestra de tejido muscular, de la muestra identificada como 0004, que es de tejido muscular de la cadera, se lograron obtener 501 millones.
Mexican doctors have now carried out tests on these aliens and they have said that they have not been put together. They are not from other animal or human body parts to make this mummified alien. They are like that. This is how they've been preserved. They've not been constructed. However, Brian Cox has made a comment and said that these are too humanoid. They wouldn't look like that. So he's kind of saying, no, I don't believe it. I don't think they'd look that humanoid. However, Jamie Mawson, who I mentioned last week, the guy who's brought this to light, the guy who's took it to the Mexican Congress, he's said that they are 1,000 years old and that they are not constructed whatsoever. And also mentioned that they aren't a part of our evolutionary history. We didn't look like this at some point, people haven't evolved from this, or another species hasn't evolved from this. Like I said last week, how could this be something that has evolved to look like something else? He said, no, they are not part of any kind of animal or human evolutionary timeline as well. Jamie also, under oath, said that a third of the DNA found in these mummies are unknown. So a third of the bones and whatever else kind of was preserved with these mummified aliens is not known to anything we've ever seen or ever tested on. And there's nothing that is earthly about that, or else we'd be able to link it to something. So he said under oath that we've done the tests and a third of it, we've got no idea. Brian Cox also, again, wants a sample. He said, send me a sample, 23andMe will test it and we'll let you know if we also think that it's not something territorial to Earth, that it's not part of any other evolutionary animal or human on Earth. And just to add to that, he said that another animal from another planet will not look like us. You've got to think, if you go down the deep part of it, we look how we do due to things like humidity levels, gravity, sunlight exposure, all that linked in, which is very specific to Earth. So if humans evolved on the moon, they'd be completely different due to gravity, sunlight, and all sorts of different things. So another alien kind of thing would not look like us due to not being exposed to the same things that allow evolution to happen, if that makes sense to you. So after that information, you could be sitting on the fence. Yeah, it looks like it's just another fake. Like I said in the last video in 2015, he also whacked out a mummified alien. However, it was a child. It was remains of a human child. So the bones of this mummy alien? Are they part of that third of the DNA that we don't know? Have they tested the bones and they're like, yeah, we don't know. However, I'll just show you this video.
So what do we see? Same stuff. A hodgepodge of human and animal bones. Here's a mummy named Josephine. A real beauty. Instead of humer eyes, she sports femurs or thigh bones. Her legs are even more baffling. One of the thigh bones is actually a femur, only facing the wrong way around, while the other one is a tibia. And they are completely mismatched. With the hip bone, there's no joint there at all. The poor humanoid wouldn't have made a single step. Some of the bones are simply chopped off. Note this asymmetry here. The fingers are a total mess too. The first pseudophalanges are facing in different directions on her left and right hands, with the white part facing up or down. Well, they just forgot to turn them the right way. Stuff happens. And look at this alien head. French paleontologist Julien Benoit thinks that those who crafted the small humanoid mummies used skulls of some small mammals for their heads, such as a llama or alpaca. Comparison shows that the reptiloid's cranial cavity fits perfectly the cranial cavity of a llama. The location of the olfactory bulbs, the inner ear, the brain hemispheres and the cerebellum precisely matches those in a llama skull. The whole facial part of the skull was broken off, leaving only the brain case. The skull was then rotated so its back part faces forward. The reptiloid's face is actually the back of the poor llama's head. Paleontologist Rodolfo Salas Gismondi is of the same opinion.
Now in that video there was tibias, femurs, backs of skulls from things like llamas. So has it been made to trick people? A hoax, like people say this Jamie Morrison is. He's just a UFO kind of prankster. What is he getting out of this? He showed it to the Mexican Congress and they're like, oh yeah, interesting, let's do some tests. Oh no tests, I'm telling the truth. And then you also got Coxie asking for a bit of the action and Jamie hasn't responded yet. So the whole point of him trying to prank or do this, to me, has no effect to him whatsoever. I don't know if he's getting money for all the publicity he's getting. Maybe his name's being mentioned a bit more, so like I say, publicity and stuff. But is that worth it? I don't know if it is worth it or not. I can't really figure it out. However, I believe that these are probably just hoaxes. Looking at the video where he goes into detail about the bones, the femur just flipped upside down, the other one's a tibia, and if you were to stand it up like the animation falls gone. So I'm going with a load of rubbish. Personally, I just don't know why he'd fake it. I just can't wrap my head around that whole thing. I don't know what he'd do that for. Everyone's different, aren't they? However, I'm going with they're not real. But let's see what your minds say. I've shown you the information I could find, however it is quite one-sided and it does go down the route of yeah, it's not real. But the DNA, 23% of DNA that they don't know, that's a good one. Like, why do we not know that? And if it is being constructed and has been assembled, where did they get them from? And why aren't they on our records? But finally, we're starting to get a few more answers. So hopefully in a few more weeks, next week, it could be tomorrow, we should have an answer to whether they are real or not. But we just need someone like Coxie to do a test and to go, yeah, that's not real, or yeah, it's an alien. Either way, it's going to be big news. Either way. So very exciting. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of this soon. And if you did like this video, check that one out there. Please like, subscribe and follow me on my quest for paranormal sightings and events that are beyond belief.